Okay, our number one fan is jumping on. Hyman.
Outstanding. Good to have you on the show, Ty.
All right. I got this one up. I can see YouTube. Everybody doesn't see this other side, a little behind the scenes of all this. All right. Let's shut this down. All right. Welcome to Crypto Chat Live, people. Whoever's out there watching us already, we already have a couple people on the stream. Sean Neal in the middle. He's eating some fire pasta over there, Fradiano, and he's blowing his nose. Keeping it hot. Just been eating some hot food. Keith Carpentier.
Hey, diners.
Hanging out. Ready to be picked on today.
Mm-hmm.
We have some trolls like last
week. Bring it on.
Yeah, we love our trolls. Bring them. All right, let's go to the markets. I hear somebody already coming on. Yeah, let's get this show on the road. Let's go to the markets. Crypto market update. The market cap is now at 1.9 trillion. Bitcoin has hit 46,000. We're around 45.6 right now. Ethereum hit 32. We're still waving around there. My Aave is already more than doubled for me. ADA Cardano is finally starting to show some life. Matic finally back over $1 in about $1.40. And was surprising the market was not affected by the infrastructure bill being passed by the Senate, even though it's going to the House, and the $600 million DeFi hack. 2 months ago, if either one of those things happened, the whole market would have dropped 20%. I'm kind of surprised. Guys, who wants first at this?
Wait, I'll just jump in. I mean, hey, it's a great day to be in crypto, right? I'm going to steal Sean's line there. But, the reality is, you called it, Joe. Like, if you look at any of those, if you look at Aave, if you look at Ethereum, if you look at Bitcoin, you just basically pick a chart. The weekly is beautiful. The monthly is beautiful on all of them. And actually a very similar pattern. And again, on all of them, I would go so far as to say it looks like it is all being set up, or all of them individually are setting up to retest, and I predict take out all-time highs by the end of the year. That's the perma-bull. Sean?
Yeah. Well, I totally agree about the all-time high by the end of the year. I think that there's still, like you said, this negative correlation between other asset classes and negative correlation with the news. It's very, very hard to understand some of the fundamentals of some of these things, and you wonder about some of the use cases. Right now there's just no stopping optimism. And look, people are inherently optimistic, right? And so you're always going to see this kind of up and down, go up a little bit and then come down and go up come down. That's a very classic chart, and we're definitely on the upswing. And so nothing's going to stop it, right? $600 million DeFi hack, and we're breaking 200-day moving averages. So,
what do you think if this thing passes the House? Do you think you're going to drop 20-25%?
The infrastructure bill?
Yeah.
I would say that's probably built in, and that a lot of people probably don't understand the nuance. And the fact is that the definition or the lack of definition of broker doesn't really impact the average crypto person. Right, it's more of people like us who are developing protocols, building wallets, mining. That's a very, very small segment of the population. So when you look at something like 14% adoption of crypto across the country, first of all, you got 86% to go, and I don't know how many of those people are really going to use crypto, but how many of those people are going to be impacted by this? 1-2%, right? If that. So I think that's going to be a non-event in terms of the overall value of crypto.
Yeah, and Sean, just to add to that, we talk about events. Again, we very quickly glossed over the fact that the United States government is going to dump another $1 trillion+ into the economy. Like, that is going to ripple through. Like, that, I think part of the reason, candidly, that the markets are going back is because there's that sweet taste of FOMO back in the air, right? There's money sloshing around. People are seeing the retracement that's happened. And I think there's a big group out there saying, it's really come back a lot. Maybe I should get back in. And to your point about the use cases, and we've spoken about this before too, more and more in, corporate and big financial institutions are getting on board, giving it more and more legitimacy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's up.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, as I say, I think there is going to be this yield chasing, right? Because what are you going to do? You're not going to put it in a money market or even a corporate bond, right? If you put your money in a corporate bond, 6 months from now, it's a loss. So you need to chase big yield in order to be still net cash positive. And, crypto is one of the few spaces over the last 8-12 months that's done that consistently. So yeah, I could see this kind of yield chasing thing happening and continuing to happen through the end of the year.
Do you think a lot of the things you're talking about, the average, I guess, consumer of crypto doesn't even understand when you're talking about the comparisons of putting it in those traditional things compared to crypto? It's a whole different community. They don't even know. They don't know how to trade like have the understanding.
Right. All they see is the 10x and the 20x. Right. That's all they see and care about, and that just it's the pile on effect. Right.
Yeah. Like you're saying, Bitcoin's up 1% today. That community thinks we're waiting for the 20% day because they're used to the 20% day.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, law of large numbers, man. Law of large numbers. But Sean's right. It's called the yield squeeze. And as the yields just remain so stingy through traditional vehicles, it forces people to chase yield wherever that may be. And yet, you're right. There's probably a vast majority of people out there that don't know how to do that in the crypto space, but there's a lot of information out there and a lot of interest. And I think over time, as people become more familiar with these options, they'll gravitate there because the money's going to go where the money is made.
Mm-hmm.
What I do find interesting right here is typically the crypto markets have been moving with the traditional stock market, and right now the fear and greed index, you have a 70 for the crypto market, and the traditional market is a 39 with fear. In the past, those kind of both went along the same lines.
Yeah, that might be a fascinating commentary, Joe, maybe more on the holders, of those stocks, maybe the constituencies of your traditional stock market holdings. Again, I'm theorizing here, maybe older and may have a different worldview than, those that are contributing to the fear and greed index in the crypto space, might be a little younger and hungrier and, again, have a different take on risk. That's kind of a fascinating piece. I'm very keen to see that correlation and contango between the two, those two major markets.
Mm. And I think, you wonder about the sophistication of institutional holders and, their ability to leverage gains in crypto versus, just saying, oh, we're going to go buy American Airlines or IBM or whatever. I think that I would guess that if you sampled the Fortune 500 boardrooms, the vast majority of those members have no idea about crypto, right? They're just they're going to stay there. So I think that when they see this new thing, and there could be that sort of misunderstanding and fear of crypto.
AD says 32K time to take some profits. Do you subscribe to that, or you just say the?
Well, I think you missed the decimal point. That's the. I think he's making fun of you. It's 3,200.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what I meant. 3,200 ETH. Time to take some profits.
Yeah, nobody ever got hurt taking a profit there, AD.
Yeah, slip the decimal.
What do you think at this point at 3,200? You start taking profits, or no?
No.
You're the guy that holds. It doesn't matter. You just like to hold it.
No.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next story. And switch over. It's Tron. Something close to Sean's heart, and that is decentralized gaming and crypto gaming. Tron Foundation launches a $300 million gaming fund. They're going to invest in play-to-earn projects over the next 3 years. Funds. The goal of the funds is to support developers and create GameFi projects, and to make our whole industry more easy to understand for the mainstream person.
Yeah. I love this word GameFi, right? Like that's that's the first time I read that, but it's sort of a natural.
I assume that's part of his product.
Yeah, I of course I love this, right? We're going to do this, but one of the things that I worry about when you say play to earn is who is the shall we call it employer, right? So if I'm playing a game and I'm earning crypto, well, who am I earning it from? And in that case, if I am an employee or a contractor, in some cases, am I due a minimum wage, right? Like, can I go to some state board and claim unemployment when I stop playing, or the game is no longer available? And can that, like there's a whole host of regulation around play to earn. And so you have to be sure that this thing is super decentralized, because otherwise you're going to get stuck, issuing W-2s and having to offer health insurance and all kinds of other crazy stuff, right?
Yeah.
So there have been attempts at play to earn for fiat, which were very quickly shut down. It was 3 or 4 years ago this kind of stuff happened, and for all those reasons, right? For those sort of compliance reasons. What if you have somebody who's 12 years old earning? Right? Like that's illegal in most states, right? You can't. So there are. I just have serious concerns about the regulatory regime around this, and you need to make sure that it's that it's completely decentralized. That some entity can't be deemed to be an employer, and that the people who are playing and getting a wage are employees.
See, I'm more cynical. I see this as, Justin Sun made Tron how many years ago, and it never took off. It's supposed to be the ETH killer and everything else, and it's at 8 cents. He's just trying to figure out a way to get people to earn some Tron and maybe make it a cent or $1.
Yeah. I'm not sure what this is, and $300 million in the game space doesn't buy you a whole lot, honestly. To produce a AAA game is easily $50 million and takes 3 or 4 years. If he's going to put out 4 titles with this, I don't know how he gets an ROI. But yeah, it's an interesting headline, and I think again the regulatory regime needs to be resolved.
I mean, that's the one thing Justin Sun knows how to do. He knows how to make headline. He's good at marketing.
Yeah.
That's probably the best thing he's at. He's just
yeah, no,
I'm not a gamer guy.
I was just thinking, like, man, I mean, that's a stretch to me to have the state extrapolate that because I play a particular game, I could be deemed an employee. I mean,
it definitely happened.
I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. Even in some of the more mainstream platforms like World of Warcraft, there are people who sell the in-game gold on exchanges, and those exchanges are constantly pursued by FinCEN and by some of the state attorney generals, because people are playing the game and then taking this gold that they earn and selling it on an exchange, and they've all deemed that to be some kind of illegal earning process or something like that. Even to the point where the Chinese government was using their state-held prisoners to play World of Warcraft, essentially mine the World of Warcraft in-game gold and then sell it. Yeah.
Wow.
It does bring up an interesting point. Yeah, kid could be at home making money at 10 years old. I can see how that's going to, create some issues. Maybe some parents might like that. It's kind of extra money in the house.
Well, that's a parenting issue. I don't know.
But we don't offer parenting advice here at DynamoCoin.
Yeah. But by the same token, a lot of my kids, spend a lot of time on video games, and if they could be making money doing that, putting it into their 529 or something, there's nothing wrong with that either. So, yeah. But it's an interesting space. So just got to make sure it's decentralized.
All right, we're gonna go to the next big thing going on, and that is let's answer some things out here. I've kind of neglected our crew. AD's got a lot to say. I just love how intertwined crypto and gaming have been right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, because it's all technology, right? So, and interestingly, when you look at a lot of the profiles of people who are crypto developers on LinkedIn, you will see Unreal Engine or Unity in their background as well. There's just something about it that seems to coalesce around that concept. So
I just feel it's the first time everybody's kind of finding an active use for crypto.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's jumping on it, and it's becoming. Mm-hmm. Ooh, we got my screen went off in the background. My technical screen.
You're having technical difficulties. Please stand by. But yeah, Joe, to your point, I mean, I think it's the convergence, right, of that user group, the use case, the heartbed of technology, and to be truthful, the gaming community tends to be a bit leading edge, so it really does feel like a bit of that intersection of a lot of these key themes. So not really surprising. Crypto's found a home.
Yeah. Let's see what AD has a lot to say today. From the GPU fight to non-gamers driving up the price in the game items. If it's an NFT, that is quite literally, it doesn't. Yeah. Yep.
That's going to be the argument,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, gaming. Yeah, that's true. Gaming kids already make a lot of money on YouTube, and nobody's getting in trouble for it.
But so my son has a channel that's monetized, and he makes, I don't know, a couple $100 a month or something like that. But my wife had to open a bank account for him, and put her social security number on it, and you get a 1099 at the end of the year, right? It's all on the up and up. So if you are running a game and not doing those things, and not checking that $600 a year threshold to issue a 1099, that's where you can run afoul of United States laws. Look, if you build a game and it's all people from the Philippines playing it, you got no issue, right? Because you don't have any reporting requirement. You have to report your income, but you'd have to ban domestic users. So how I don't know how Axie Infinity gets around it. It's probably they're just flying under the radar right now. But yeah, it's definitely an issue. And yes, they do, but it's all above board. That's how that's done.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the next story, which is the big $600 million poly hack, which it seems like it was a white hat hacker. Kind of just a little go over it. Let me find it in my. So the cross chain, it's between Ethereum, Polymatic, and the Binance Smart Chain. And I guess the hackers targeted all three chains at the same time, and they were able to find a vulnerability and they pulled a total of more than $600 million out. But it seems like the person has been starting to put it back a little bit at a time, maybe a couple million here and there. But the most hilarious thing I find is that people on social media are asking the hacker to drop money in their wallet.
Yeah, man. Before we label this guy a white hat actor or like some crypto white hat anonymous, I can't even talk tonight. He's still sitting on like $250 billion worth of stolen assets. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's given some back, but when you steal over $500 million, and you give 250 million back, I don't think you're Robin Hood. You know what I mean? So I think, Sean can weigh in on the technicals and the vulnerabilities, but
I heard something else they were talking about where they could actually, because all the coins are on the chain or the tokens are on the chain, they could blacklist those. There's a possibility of being able to blacklist those tokens. No, you don't like that.
USDT, yes, right? Because Tether is centralized. There's no question about that. Ethereum, no, right? Because all you have to do is make another address and transmit it, and you can use mixing services to anonymize it. So not really. So yes, the Tether is effectively dead because they know where it's at, and Tether is centralized. But the Ethereum, no, I don't think so.
AD says the guy that warned him that the address was flagged got 40K.
Yeah. Now the question is, what does that guy do with it, right? Because if that guy has any KYC AML, he's basically now an accessory to a crime. So, if he doesn't give that up right away, if he keeps it and he's not anonymous in some way, I don't know. These are very murky waters. So
you think some of the legislators, this is another reason to have legislation and regulation? No, you don't think?
No, this is a reason to have better programmers, right? Like this is a complete technical failure.
You don't think this big headline will make it in during the House discussions?
Oh, it'll be fodder for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with no amount of legislation is gonna fix this. I mean, look at the Equifax hack. The credit reporting industry is one of the most highly regulated industries, in the world, and they lost how many hundreds of millions of personal credit files with basically a slap on the wrist, right? Like, I mean, so no, legislation is not the answer. I'm sure Congress is going to feel otherwise, but no, legislation isn't going to get the $660 million back. Just like it didn't, seal up my credit report.
Oh, I didn't say that. I was just they're trying to find any valid excuse.
Yeah.
Market.
They'll use it as an excuse, but what this is people running fast and loose, right? So many of these crypto projects do not, I think they use decentralized development as an excuse for sloppy programming, right? You very rarely see any kind of project plans or, like full regression tests. I mean, we would never in corporate America run a project like this. It would never, ever happen. And I'm not saying that corporate America is great at necessarily designing systems, but, this is the nth gigantic hack if you think about, in terms of smart contracts. So it's just so important to get smart contract testing very, very thorough.
Now, go ahead, Keith.
I was just going to say the same thing. I think it's less, the road leading to more regulation. Again, it will be the headline. But to your point, Sean, exactly like what are the conversations that need to happen now, within a lot of these boards at these projects, because it's almost $1 billion. Like, the risk management and the governance piece needs to be paid attention to more. And I think that might be the major takeaway from this, which perhaps, that was this actor's, main intent. Again, let's see how many millions he keeps, but
yeah. And unfortunately it's a tug of war, because you say it's decentralized, but then in order to have some kind of security council or other kind of thing that's auditing everything, that's by definition centralized. So you have to strike a balance there.
Balance is the key word.
Yep.
What do you think? I mean, Keith and I don't understand the coding like you do, but they talk about the,
I code.
Yes.
What are you laughing at, Sean? What are you say it to my face, Sean? Say it to my face.
I'm not laughing.
But that cross-chain bridges, and they're saying, because it's happened before. It's happened a few times before. Is it really that difficult to fix, or because these have been hacked plenty of times.
The cross-chain swap is also known as an atomic swap, and it uses a technique called hash time lock contracts. And basically what it says is, you want Ethereum, I want Bitcoin. It works better with Bitcoin to Bitcoin type chain. So like we could very easily create a Bitcoin atomic swap. But the gist of it is you pledge your Bitcoin into a contract, somebody else pledges something else into a contract. And then when you reveal when you redeem their money, that reveals the script to them to redeem their money. And they have to redeem it within a certain amount of time. It's extremely complicated. The swaps take a long time, and there have been many different attack vectors that have been proposed on these HTLC contracts. So it's very, very dangerous to do cross-chain swaps without an intermediary. Definitely possible, but very dangerous.
Have either of you guys, or actually anybody listening to the stream, I haven't heard any mention of it being a foreign state-sponsored actor. I've heard nothing in that vein. Have any of you?
Nobody knows. Yeah.
It felt more of, like you said, Joe, like more of that homegrown, anonymous, white hat actor. And I thought that was interesting too. You know, there's so much talk and focus on state-sponsored, you know, hacking, cybercrime, and I haven't heard a whisper about it with regard to this.
No, I didn't either.
All right, we will hit up to the next. Our next
Doge time. Doge
That's
time.
right. Are you there?
Difficulties. Oh, you just wanted to be on the right side of the screen.
What happened?
You know,
stepping it up.
Trying to keep it real.
What's going on?
Hey, oh, now stop. Why are you just doing it on purpose?
Seems like are we still there?
We're here. Did you lose power?
Right
I don't know what happened. It just turned off, but everybody's still here. The stream is gone on the side, but all right, we'll go to the next story. We'll see what happens. That's Dogecoin. Let's talk a little Doge. I got to bring this back up. Yeah, my computer crashed.
Oh no.
Yeah. There's something crashed. Safari crashed. All right, Doge and Shiba had big weekends, still in the top 100. Doge up 16% in the last 24 hours. Shiba up about 10%, and they both had about 40% gains in the last, since Friday. Two meme coins still around, still hanging strong. Surprised? Or is this just, is this good? Is this bad for our space?
Oh, it's a good bit of fun. Hey, thanks, Vincent. Vincent's saying that he's still seeing us, so the stream's up and live. And no, it is not bad. Again, going back to our first segment, with a high-level view of the markets. Come on, you have that much solidity and strength in the markets overall for the big cap names. Why shouldn't the more speculative end of the market, get a little bit of the FOMO withdrawal and get in the game
out
too?
As a joke. I mean, they were created as a joke. That's why I'm a little surprised at it.
So how many card games started as a joke? You know what I mean? It's just a bit of speculative fun and just the cutest darn mascot out there in Cyberland. So don't hate on the Shiba.
Yeah. And I think, it's a little bit of, there's no stopping a good idea right now.
Yep.
People don't necessarily know that maybe Doge is not a good idea, but it's crypto, right? And so I think this is just more mainstream adoption of something. And when you think about general public awareness, when I talk to people who are not involved in crypto at all, everybody knows Bitcoin. A few people know Ethereum, but a lot of people know Doge, right? And they may call it my landlord at my warehouse at my mining rig. He said, "Oh, what are you mining?" And I said, "Are you mining Bitcoin?" I said, "No, you can't mine Bitcoin anymore." I said, "I'm mining Ethereum," and he knew that. And he said, "Well, what do you think about the doggy coin?" And I said,
"There you go."
I said, "You mean Dogecoin?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, I'm not sure I would buy it. So probably stick to the main."
So in a way, that's good for the space because it gets a lot of people in that probably wouldn't go into it before.
That's what I'm saying is, there's no stopping a good idea. And what this guy runs like an asphalt paving business, for a living. So, completely uninvolved in crypto, but he knew Dogecoin. He knew it by the wrong name, but he knew Dogecoin.
And
aside from that, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. This is America, people. Everybody on the live stream, Dynamo community, this is what makes America great. Dogecoin themed hot dogs from Oscar Mayer selling for $15,000 at auction. Now, again, I can't get over how cute the Shiba Inu looks there on the Oscar Mayer packaging. But therein lies the bit that's fascinating to me, that Oscar Mayer did partner with Dogecoin to put out, a consumer packaged good that obviously sold for $15,000. It probably cost like 99 cents. But I think that's fascinating. And I love this. It reminds me of the Burberry engagement in crypto. I look forward to seeing more of this. I look forward to DynamoCoin finding a home and playing a part in this with corporate partnerships and sponsorships. But I think it's fantastic. I should have bid.
Yep.
AD calls it money laundering, LOL. Sean, do you have a deeper thought on this, or is it just good for the space?
There's no deep thought on Dogecoin. Come on now.
Yeah, no. I think people in corporate America are realizing the value of the brand, and they're capitalizing on it.
There you go. Exactly right.
Yep. You got to get Musk on your phone. Have him shield Dino.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna see probably Doge, Adidas, or who knows what, right? Like, I mean, you could just imagine a whole slew of things, and frankly, because it's all open source, it doesn't cost them anything. So yeah, right. They adopted it, but it didn't cost them anything.
I still think it's hilarious on my eToro account because you're buying one of Ethereum, this and that, pieces of it. It says $6 for Shiba Inu. But that's for 1 million Shiba Inu.
Yeah, right.
Oh, there you go.
So everything else you're getting increments.
3, right? Like, it's too hard to figure out what the hell you're buying. So.
Yeah, so it was easier for them to just say 1 million.
Yeah. Because it's like 1 quadrillion total supply or some crap like that. Yeah.
And then how do they get their expense out of it if you're buying? Yeah. 80. Dumb money doesn't rule the market as bad as early this year. It's definitely out there.
Oh, yes, I agree. It is.
I agree.
I guess we'll head to our Dynamo Wallet.
But to that point, to AD's point, I mean, it's out there, but I'm sorry, it doesn't feel as frothy as it did a couple of months back. I still feel that it's rather organized, rather disciplined, kind of taking the stairs up to test those highs again.
I think what's interesting is when you look at August, September of last year, which is when it really started to take off, and then the crash of this spring, if you could even call it that, it still found a floor much higher than where it was in August, right? Like, this is here to stay. There's so much institutional long-term money here. So yeah, this feels different.
Yeah. And I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, this is the 4-hour chart. I mean, if you look back, I'm always looking at the volume at the bottom. It's a little bit lower down here, even though we're at a 1.9 trillion market cap. But man, look at that, how up and down.
It's still the summer. I think there's still an opportunity for a 20% correction. I'm not sure that we're going to see all-time highs again in August.
If the House passes,
October.
If the House passes this bill, I see a 20%.
You may. I think that's probably baked in because people don't understand how law gets made. They think that because it's done with the Senate that it's a law now. So I think that's maybe baked in. But people are on vacation; they're just not watching this shit. So.
Yeah.
But
must have lost out a lot. Yep. Next up, we're going to talk about. Let's talk about the Dynamo Wallet.
That's something to talk about.
Got to show up too in here.
Save the best for last, Joe. I like your style.
Right.
I like your style.
That's right. So as I pull up the wallet over here, you guys chat a little bit. So we're just talking about the Dynamo Wallet that Sean is still in the process of making. How far out are you on finally giving us a product so we can actually put some Dynamo in a wallet?
I put some Dynamo in a wallet about 3 hours ago, actually. So
there we go.
Yep. I transferred a 0.1 or 0.2 into the wallet. All of the coding to do the send is complete. After the end of this show, I'm going to go probably do the first production send. All the transaction history is done. I have it where you can post a kind of like buy it now link where if, say, a vendor wants to sell something on a website for Dynamo, you can click on the link. It'll bring you to your wallet. You put in your password, and then the send screen will be pre-populated with their address and the amount. So, you could say buy this NFT or whatever for 10 Dynamo. You can just create a web link that will bring them right to their wallet. So it's basically the same function as like what MetaMask has. It's fully integrated. I'm also working on being able to transfer a wallet using a QR code. That'll be done tonight as well. So yeah, probably tomorrow we can do a full dry run through, and then have a complete great show on Friday.
The wallet up that you emailed me the other day that we used. I guess you pulled it off. You pulled it down.
I took down the NFT server. I was working on. I was trying to get it so that you could have a camera in the app, so that people could publish a QR code to say buy it now and have the camera work in the app. But it just got to be too hairy from a technical standpoint. So I'm going to basically, you can publish a QR code that's the link, and then it will open up your wallet with the pay to as soon as you put the password in. So
this is actually really big news, Joe. And I know we're kind of just quickly touching on it tonight, but I really think, and Sean, not to hold your feet to the fire or commit you to anything, but I think Friday, for our Friday wine and dine, and this is pretty big news for the Dynamo community who've been with us, since the beginning. I would like to do a bit of a deeper dive, and maybe a bit of a, to Joe's point, Sean, could we do a bit of a show and tell on Friday's live stream?
Absolutely, yeah. We'll definitely do a live demo of creating a wallet, sending coins in and out, possibly uploading an NFT, right? But yeah, all of the send and receive and transaction stuff is all done.
All right, yeah, that's really important.
We can give a few Dynamo out to people during the show.
If you open a wallet, we'll send you some
work.
Maybe Sheriff 1980. I don't know, just throwing a dart, maybe.
Yeah. Give us your address. We'll test the send out.
Pizza Tyrone. He's another one of our viewers.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. Well, we've hit about 40 minutes as usual. You guys have any other questions? Yeah, Sheriff wants
nice. No, I think this is the appetizer to the Friday night show, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then maybe by Friday we'll have the ability to purchase using PayPal or Stripe. We'll see how far I get with the integration, but this web wallet just opens up so many opportunities for advertising, for again distributing NFTs, and then for fiat purchase. Right, we can sell Dynamo through the wallet directly. So if you open a wallet and you don't want to mine, you can't have anybody send it to you. We'll offer to sell you. Some small amount, maybe 10 Dynamo or something like that. We'll have to figure out the pricing and everything else, but just to get Dynamo into more people's hands.
Thinking about that, I saw Venmo today announced that any money that comes into your Venmo wallet, you can switch it over to cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I mean they do KYC AML, so anybody like that, and they're already a money service business registered with FinCEN, so that's just a natural progression for them. There's no reason they shouldn't do that.
No, I didn't know if there was any relation to being able to get Dynamo into something like that, or
I guess. Well, of course, we'd love to, right? But they're not going to talk to us right now. But yeah, in 6 months from now, well, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Guys, absolutely. Any thoughts? Any people out there, peeps in the world? Any other questions?
No, that was the big news, Joe. I mean, that was really kind of slipped in here under the radar at the end of the show. Like, that is a really big deal.
Yep, it's going to be cool.
Yep, more on Friday.
More on Friday. Maybe give out some free Dynamo on Friday. I don't know. I'm not the one doing it, so I'm not saying it's going to happen, but,
There's Joe again. Just here's the Dynamo.
Fake news, Joe. Give it to the news guy.
Exactly.
All right. Since nobody else has any questions, I'm going to shut this down. We'll see you guys on Friday.
Looking forward to it.
Later.